Hi friends, all for art and art for all. We're going to be looking at an endangered species today, the bay checkerspot butterfly, and how to draw a realistic version of one of them. So I'm going to start at the head, and I'm going to start high in my image area, and I'm going to just do a little rounding over for the eye, a little pucker up, two little puckers, and then rounding down. And then I'm going to collect that. That's the head. I'm going to put a dark round area in there, leave a little white highlight, and then I'm going to just kind of darken in the middle there. That's where my antennae are coming out, and my antenna goes straight out and straight out. And the thing that makes a butterfly is actually the little knob at the end of their antenna. It's different than a moth antenna because of this little knob. And then I'm going to just show some little tiny, if you can make delicate marks, some little tiny marks showing my antenna going out. Maybe you can give them just a little bit of thickness. If not, that's okay. And then my wings are going to, they're not quite straight. They kind of go up and over. So up and over, and they are going to go out. So I'm going to go up and over on both sides. Up and over on both sides. And then I'm going to be coming down to make a triangle, but let's make the body where we're going to be aiming for. So first there's kind of a round thing below here. So I'm going to make a dark round circle below my head, but not quite as wide as my head. And then I'm going to come out from it. And that's my thorax where the wings are actually attached to. And then my abdomen is below that. And it's kind of round on both sides. And it's going to have some segments. So 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. I'm going to go back up on the side and back up on the side. And then I'm going to color this in. And I'm going to leave a little white line in between my segments here. And then this part is actually furry. So we can put some furry lines if we feel fancy. Otherwise, dark is fine. But they do have some kind of hairy parts there. Okay, and then my wings are going to come out and down. So from the center part of my thorax, I'm going to be going out and down. And my wing is going to come in at an angle. So I'm going to come in and down to that point. So I should have kind of a triangle for both wings. So if I go down, and then I'm going to over and back in. So I should end up with something like a triangle. And then this wing is tucked under. It's actually attached way up here, but the wing goes way down here to the side, and I'm going to have a little line that comes down from my segmented part of my body, and another little line on the other side. So that's going to be the bottom wing, because they have two pairs of wings. They have a pair here and a pair of wings here. And then this is going to come round over and meet up with the wings up there. Round over and meet up with the wings over there. And this one's going to round and meet up with the wings over there. So we're kind of rounded here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 lines going in. And these lines are going up to the thorax, so way up here. 1, 2, 3, and maybe the edge of a fourth line going up there. Let's do the same over here. 1, I'm going way up here. 2, that one was kind of narrow, 3, 4. And that'll be the basis for my patterning. I'm going to swing around from the abdomen with this first stripe and make a stripe and make a stripe. And then I'm going to make another stripe and another stripe. So there'll be a thin section down at the bottom. So cut this with 2 lines going across. And so this is going to end up being, I can kind of draw in some circles in these segments and then fill in the in-between. So I can draw in kind of a circle in these little segments I've made and blacken in anything in between. And then this, I'm going to make this a circle, and I'm going to make this a circle, and I'm going to make that a circle. So I'm going to put circles in all of these and fill in that in between. This is where the marker really helps. A little harder to do it with the pencil. It doesn't happen as fast with the pencil. I find with the pencil, if I try not to draw too dark, it's easier. And then this, I can round these off too. So rounding these off. And this is part of what makes it called the checker spot, is because the spotting pattern in here is a little bit like a checkerboard. Okay, and then it had a little pattern that came down. So just a little pattern that came down and a little pattern that comes down. So kind of like a little U on this underside of the wing. And then over here, let's go ahead and do a line that goes from the edge of the wing to the thorax. So from the edge all the way up, from the edge all the way up. And then we're going to do one along the top, from the edge all the way in, along the top now, from the edge all the way in. And then in between here, I'm going to make 2 bars that go in between. I'm going to make 2 bars that go in between. 2 bars. And then I'm going to make a big circle. Ovally circle, not a perfect circle, maybe more of an oval. So I'm going to make kind of an oval. And then coming off of that oval, I'm going to make some wing veins that come down. Coming off of my oval, I'll make some wing veins that come down. And then that I'm going to separate with 1, 2, 3 stripes. So 1, 2, and then a 3rd stripe that's going to go all the way down. So 1, 2, and a 3rd stripe that goes all the way down. So the bottom stripe is going to be kind of thick. So I'll thicken up that bottom stripe. Thicken that up. And then it's going to make some bumpies here. Let's see. I made it too thin, I think. And then round that out, round that out, round that out. Round it so that it's not quite rectangular. And then this next little segment here, I'll do circles inside and then I'll fill in my blanks. So I'll do circles inside these little segments. And then all the little white areas I will fill in. I'm going to try and talk louder than the gardening that's going on outside. Okay, and there you go. There's your checker spot butterfly. Oh, we have one more vein that comes up here. So put a little vein here, and a little vein in here, and this had one more little rounded area, one more little rounded area, and there you go. You can kind of vary your lines a little bit extra thickness around the edge, and there is your realistic bay checker spot butterfly. So there you go, all for art and art for all.